Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in the lower tiers where the power's low, but the battles are fierce. And today I'll be continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, from which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So, join me as we move on to match 9 of round 3. Our combatants this time will be Akarui Kurayami versus Mr. Bossaru. While this will be Akarui's first play match in the tournament, Mr. Bossaru faced off against Snak in round 2, gaining a clean victory of 2-0. Regardless, their skill should be witnessed here today by both myself and you the viewer. If you happen to enjoy the video, I humbly request you click that like button. Also subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified for later uploads. Working together, we can bring more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Alright, match 9, game 1. Let's play lead metagame. Tentacle coming from Bossaru as well as Drunken Sailor. Ice Beam from Bossaru, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage as Drunken Sailor goes for a wrap. Ivysaur going in for Bossaru, tanking a wrap on entry. Now it looks like Drunken Sailor is just going to do a little bit more damage. They switch to the Charmeleon, but it's not a PT switch, so Charmeleon gets put to sleep! Charmeleon is out. Ivysaur is currently going for a buff with Swords Dance. Body Slam going in. Charmeleon does wake up though, but he gets brought down to 15% health. Tentacle switch for Bossaru as it tanks a Body Slam. No paralysis though. Serve going into this trade-in, switched in Tentacle, as Ivysaur has done the same from Bossaru. Blizzard hits, 10%. Sleep Powder misses for Bossaru, and Ivysaur gets taken out. Hitmonchan switched in, hits Tentacle, and it paralyzes it, but Drunken Sailor manages to connect a Hydro Pump as Tentacle goes down to a Seismic Toss. Hitmonchan is hurting right now. Bossaru is going for their Meowth, but Drunken Sailor manages to get a substitute up. Hits Bossaru's Meowth, bringing it to 34%, and it wins the speed tie again, tanking out Meowth. Charmeleon for Bossaru, Rhyhorn being switched in by Drunken Sailor to tank a Slash. Hitmonchan brought in as Rhyhorn goes for the substitute. Submission misses, so Rhyhorn has its substitute intact. And Hitmonchan goes down. Tentacle manages to take it out, but it will be taken out in return. Rhyhorn for Bossaru as Ivysaur switched in for Drunken Sailor. Earthquake hits, bringing it down to 58%. Sleep Powder misses. Fire Blast coming out, doing a little bit of damage as Bossaru goes for their Charmeleon. Tanks a Razor Leaf. Flamethrower goes in, and Ivysaur is taken out. Drunken Sailor goes for their Rhyhorn as Bossaru goes for theirs. It tanks a ton of damage from Earthquake on the switch in and loses the speed tie, so it is out of the game. Charmeleon goes for a Body Slam for some strange reason and then gets taken out, giving Drunken Sailor the first win. Okay. Game 1 to Drunken Sailor, I suppose. On to game 2. Alright, let's play lead metagame. Tentacle coming from both players once again as Wrap is initiated. A little bit of damage. They're going to be probably at this a while. Let me fast forward this just a little bit. And yeah, it looks like both players are just going to do a bit of damage, trying to whittle each other down for later revenge kills from either Meowth or Charmeleon or whoever they have on hand. And they're really fairly evenly in health, too. Tentacle for Bossaru, though, looks like it's actually going to be dipping into lower than half health. Yeah, there we go, 47. It's in the yellow. It's actually in very good damage range for Drunken Sailor to finish off later. Ivysaur switching in for Bossaru, tanking Wrap repeatedly now. Possibly Bossaru wants to go for a Sleep Powder when Tentacle eventually starts to attack. But they switch in their Meowth. Okay. Huh. Hitmonchan winds up being brought out by Drunken Sailor as Meowth goes for a substitute. Body Slam winds up taking it out, though, as Bossaru goes for their Ivysaur. Hitmonchan switched out for Charmeleon, which does get put to sleep by Drunken Sailor. Tentacle switch in, as Ivysaur goes for the Swords Dance. And Drunken goes for the wrap. Body slam hits, but it does not paralyze, and Blizzard goes in, finishing off Ivysaur. Meowth going for Bossaru as Tentacool is sacked, allowing Hitmonchan to come in unmolested. Submission going into the switched in Charmeleon from Bossaru. Rhyhorn goes in. Rhyhorn for Drunken Sailor. And Drunken Sailor's Rhyhorn manages to break the speed tie. And they do it again. Rhyhorn for Bossaru is taken out. Tentacle switched in as Rhyhorn is sacked. Meowth goes in. Goes for a Thunderbolt. And doesn't actually take Tentacle out. And gets a ton of damage done in return. Hitmonchan brought in from Bossaru as Ivysaur goes in. Body Slam. No paralysis. Another Body Slam. 47%. Sleep Powder misses. Hitmonchan goes for the Mega Kick. And finally is put to sleep. With Ivysaur being at 6%. Razor Leaf hits the incoming Charmeleon. And Drunken sends in their own Charmeleon to tank a Slash. Bossaru goes for a Swords Dance. As Ivysaur switched in and Slash goes through. Okay, that's interesting. Meowth switched in, goes for a Slash, and takes out Bossaru's Charmeleon. Meowth going in, and it loses the speed tie. Drunken Sailor manages to win. Hitmonchan is asleep. Can it wake up? Can it? No, it cannot apparently. And that leaves Drunken Sailor winning 2-0. Well done. So, what did we learn? Not too much to talk about with this one. Although, here's a fun fact. Criticals in most games are good. They allow you to do more damage than normal and bypass your opponent's defense buffs. This is still true in Gen 1, but they also bypass your attack buffs. So, using a move like Slash, which has a higher crit rate, with Swords Dance is pretty counterintuitive. Odd, but it's something interesting to play around. With the match over, Akarui Kurayami will be moving on and continuing in the WB, while Mr. Bossaru will be heading down to the LB. We'll be catching up with them again later, I'm sure. And if you happen to enjoy the video, why not join in on the fun? I've got all the necessary links down in the description, from the resource hub to the Discord. I hope to see you there. Until next time, everybody, take care. Bye!